Unraveling the mystery of the term Moor. Welcome everyone to my channel. Today we are delving into intriguing history behind the term Moor. So who was the Moors? You're gonna be really surprised that it was really a large number of group known to be the Moors. Let's find out. The term Moor was commonly used during the Middle Ages to refer to Muslims, especially those from regions like North Africa, including Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and Libya. Western part of Arab world known to be Maghreb, which includes the countries like Libya, Morocco, Tunisia, etc. But it was not the only Muslims that called be Moors from the Maghreb region. Portuguese colonists even used it to distinguish between Ceylon Moors, Muslims of Sri Lanka, and Indian Moors, Muslims of India. So when the Portuguese start to colonize the countries, at that time they still use the word Moors for Muslims, and they give the name to Sri Lankan Muslims as Ceylon Moors, as well as to differentiate them from Indian Muslims, so they call them the Indian Moors. Portuguese used to believe that the Ceylon Moors was the trader who comes before on the coast of Sri Lanka to make the trades, and after they settled there and they were Muslims, so they call them Moors, Ceylon Moors. It's essential to clarify that Moors wasn't exclusively associated with Muslims, as it had a more complex historical background. Here is a question that why they called Muslims as Moors. Don't worry, we will explain it briefly that why they called Muslims as Moors during the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, significant portions of Spain and some parts of France were under Muslim rule. But how did this happen? The Muslim presence in these regions goes back to time before Islam, when Moor was a term used to describe outsiders with different religion and perhaps different skin colors. Prophet Muhammad was born in 571 AD, but the Moors were present in the historical narrative long before Islam. During the Middle Ages, Muslims ruled some of the part of Europe, and it is true, but it's not the thing that only the Muslims was known to be as Moors. Today there is a confusion about who the Moor were and what the term truly means. Some people mistake black African or North Africans for Moors, or even refer to the black African Muslim armies as Moor. However, the label Moor was historically applied broadly, primarily to Muslims from the Maghreb region. I asked this question to many of my European fellows, that what they think of Moors. Have they heard about Moors before? And I was surprised from their answers. A lot of them doesn't know what are the Moors, and in fact some of them give the answer that Moors was the black army of Muslims from North Africa, or some of them call them that it's a North Africans or black Africans known to be the Moors. The term Moor has ancient origins with reference to Maori, recorded by Strabo in the early 4th century. The Romans also mentioned them. It's important to note that the Prophet Muhammad was born much later, in 571 AD, so the term predates Islam. Tacitus, who revolted against Roman Empire, he also mentioned Romans as Moors in 24 AD. Before the Muslim association, Moor could refer to various characteristics, including being an outsider with a different religion or skin color. Well, when we speak about different religion, the thing you have to know, during the Crusade context, they used to say infidels. Moors were infidels, meaning the peoples who don't follow the right religion. To better understand the historical context of term Moor, let's explore its linguistic roots. The Phoenician language was spoken among the ancient Phoenician peoples who were skilled sea traders hailing from regions corresponding to modern-day Lebanon. In Phoenician, the word Moor is believed to come from Mahurin, which means Westerner. So when we look at the Phoenician language, it's come to know that Moors were the peoples who was outsiders, who don't have the same religion, probably not even the same color. Perhaps it could be a reason that Muslims were known to be Moors. It's crucial to differentiate between Moors and Moroccans. Moors encompassed a broader group of Muslims from the Maghreb, whereas Moroccans specifically refer to the people from the country of Morocco. The term Moor has ancient origins predating Islam and evolved to encompass various characteristics, while Moroccans simply denotes the nationality. Morocco itself derives from Marrakesh, the once capital city of Morocco. The word Marrakesh has disputed meanings among scholars, but one of the famous interpretations is that it comes from Berber word Amur and Yakus, meaning God's protections or God's promise. Beyond the term Moor, there are related concepts. In Portugal, Moreno can mean dark-skinned, and it is also used to refer unbaptized children, indicating non-Christianity. Moreno is the word that has been used in Spain, in Philippines, in Brazil a lot of times. In actual, the word Moreno means something like dark skin. Or a wine which is not mixed with the water, or unbaptized children, non-Christianity. Normally in Spanish dictionary, the Spanish did not recognize any word associated with Moro. Well, in Portugal, they used to call Moors a fairy-type creation with the blonde hairs. In different culture, Moor took on varied meanings. For instance, in Portugal, it referred to supernatural beings. In the Philippines, the term Moro was introduced by Spanish colonizers. Moro Island, part of the Philippines, has a significant population of non-Christian peoples, primarily Muslims. The term Moro has been adopted as an endonym by Filipino Muslims, with many identifying as members of Bangsa Moro or Moro Nation. Shakespeare's Othello is a famous literary example of a Moor, reflecting historic stereotypes of black peoples. Today the term is still used in some contexts, like Moorish sovereign citizen movement in the United States. This movement claims descent from pre-colonial Moors and asserts sovereignty outside the US laws. So the term Moor remains enigmatic with a complex history that spans cultures and time. While it once referred to Muslims, its meaning has evolved over the centuries. I hope this sheds some light on the fascinating history of term Moor. Stay tuned for more videos where I will explore the Muslim rule in Europe and how it eventually ended. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more intriguing historical insights. Until next time, this is your Alex.